Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We're going to do some live classical guitar. I try to do this once a week so that all of my dojo members have a new classical guitar piece to look at every single week. And of course, you all know that I'm a huge fan of Fernando Sor because most of the classical guitar lessons at this point on my channel are Fernando Sor, and there's a big reason for it. The place that I'm starting at with all of these lessons is a place that is great for beginners. And in terms of what music is composed the best and also approachable for beginners, it's absolutely hands down Fernando Sor's Opus 60. So before I show you the performance for this one, let me just give you a couple details as to why I'm teaching it. This is a great etude to start learning to play scales with your thumb. It's a very expressive etude. It's a walking bass line, and I like to teach it in a way that you play everything with your thumb as well as in a closed position, which means you get a great 4-fret spread. So I'm going to show you my recording here in just a second, but of course if you're a dojo member, you should download the PDF in the members area of my website, print this off, and practice it daily. If you're not a member of the dojo, you can give me $2 for the PDF at the link below, or you can join the dojo for $2 a month. That's probably even better. And there are some additional tiers for dojo members, $5 a month, $10 a month, and $25 a month, where you get some extra perks, such as a Google Hangout session with me, as well as access to certain things the $2 level is not allowed to access. Now, of course, everybody that is a dojo member gets access to the private live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So without further ado, let's take a listen to Opus 60, number 3 by my good friend Fernando Sor. All right, so there is the piece. As you can see, this is great to learn walking bass lines with the thumb. Anytime you hear people play music and in that piece of music you're hearing multiple voices going on, you got somebody with some thumb technique. So let's start developing our thumb technique with this etude. I'm going to pull up line 1 here. Okay, so the first thing I want you to notice is that this is in the key of C major. And we're quite literally using this as a way to play the C major scale in a musical way. So one thing that you'll hear from a lot of teachers on YouTube and teachers just in general is that you've got to play your scales. And that's true, but don't play too much just forwards and backwards with scales. You need to play them in the context of music. And this is a great way to do it. So real quick, I want to point out that on the screen you'll see the letter P here. And let's get that circle up on top. There we are. We have the letter P. That means to use the thumb, and we're going to use the thumb as the only finger in this piece on the right hand. Everything is going to be thumb. Every last thing. Also, I want you to notice that the use of open strings is not exactly widespread here. One of the things that I want people to be able to do is to go through this exercise and learn how to keep a 4-fret spread, right? A comfortable 4-fret spread is absolutely critical to being able to play. So guys, go ahead and say hi down in the chat when you join in here. For some reason, I'm having trouble with. Okay, there we are. There's Mr. Larry. Larry, welcome to the show. Larry is one of my awesome dojo members, and he provides some awesome feedback for me. So you guys should all get to know Mr. Larry as I am. So let's get rolling on this piece here. We're going to be using the second shape of C major, which is, I'm just going to show you the scale real quick. We have C, which is our 3rd fret of the A, and then we have D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So 3, 5, and then 2, 3, 5, and then 2, 4, 5 there. Good morning, Mr. Derek. Good morning. So we're also going to be going outside of that scale a bit, right? Because we start off here with the first measure. We go C, B, C, E, G. So you see right at the beginning, we're actually starting to train that 4-fret spread. And if you notice, while I'm playing this, my fingers are hovering at a 4-fret spread here. So we get C, 3rd fret, 2nd fret for B, back to 3rd fret, and then we get index for that E, 2nd fret of the D, and our G, we're not going to use the open G, we're going to use this 5th fret. And then we're going to go down to this low G, 3rd fret of the low E, and then back up to this. And one of the things that you really want to make sure of with this piece is that you're not really letting too many notes ring over each other. This is a one-line piece, guys. This is one line. This is not a multiple melody thing going on. There's not a lot of harmony here. This is purely melody. So we're getting C, B, C, E, G, and then we get G, G, F, back to that 3rd fret, and then E, D is going to be 5th of the A, C, and then we're going to get D, B. And then we're going to go down to the 5th fret of the low E, and then to the 3rd fret. So we get A, G, and then A, B, C, right? So you actually need to really pay attention because we're getting 8th notes mixed in with these quarter notes here. So you'll see that we have 8th notes right here, right? So we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and right. So we really want to be careful about the rhythm on this one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So after we get A, B, C, that's 3rd fret. Then we're going to get D again, 5th fret, and then index to the 2nd of the D for the E, and then back down to our C, and then up to the D again. And then we get E, F sharp, G, A, B, G. Now for a moment what he's doing is he's borrowing from the G major scale, which of course has an F sharp in it. So you're actually going to see that he borrows from a couple closely related keys. Specifically here, he's borrowing from the 5. So C is 1. That means D is 2, E is 3, F is 4, and G is 5. Right? So he's, for a moment, borrowing from the scale of the 5. Then he goes to E here, right? And then we get C. And then here's where I'm going to use an open string. And you'll see, actually, I need to fix the fingerings here. We have open A and then 4th finger for that D, right? So we have open A and then 4th finger for the D, and then we get low G. Ba, ba, ba. And then we get 2 and 3, 4, right? So we the first 2 lines here, we get 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. So 1, 2, open, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. And then we have a repeat sign. So just so everyone's aware, and I'm sure everyone probably already knows this, but these double dots mean you need to go back to the beginning of the section and play it again, and then we're going to move on to this section here. Now, I'm not going to play that section again because I think you guys can, if you need to see it again, just go ahead and rewind it. But here's something really cool about this next section. We get a C sharp. Now, what in the heck is going on with that C sharp, right? Well, the C sharp is also going to an E and then an open A, right? That's actually an A major chord. And what that A major chord is doing is it's pulling us to borrow from D minor. So this is what's called a pivot chord. Or sorry, rather not a pivot chord, but this is what's called a borrowed dominant chord. So we're saying, all right, I want to go to D minor. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to use the 5 of D minor. And for further proof that we're actually moving to D minor, you can see this B flat up here that we end up on. So that B flat actually comes from the scale of D minor, which is D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D. Right? And this C sharp is coming from the D harmonic minor scale, which is our sharp 7, right? So if you've seen my music theory video, if you haven't and you're checking out these live streams, you totally got to check out that music theory video. That thing's almost at 500,000 views for a reason. It lays everything out very easily, or easy as can be. I don't want to say music theory is easy, but it lays it out, and it'll tell you that a harmonic minor scale is going to raise the 7th of the scale, causing what's called a leading tone. So this C sharp really wants to become a D, and it does that right here. First note of that second measure. So here's this C sharp resolves to this D right here. And then we start to move forward with the D minor scale. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So the fingering there is we get D, 5th of the A, E, 2nd of the D, F, 3rd of the D, and then we get our G, 5th of the D, A, 2nd of the G, and then we get our B flat, just a half step up from that A. Then we're going to grab the G after that and back to the E, right? And then we get so if we're going back to this E, right, we're going to have to jump to this A, G, and then F, E, D, C. So we have from the beginning of this section, so I'm going to just show you real quick from right there to right there. Man, I'm glad I figured out how to get that circle on screen live. So we get C sharp, E, open A, B, C sharp, D, E, F, and then G, A, B flat, G, E, A, G, F, E, D, C. And of course, we have another line coming up. So after that C, we get B, D, G. So bonus points if anybody can tell me what kind of interval that B to D is. I'm going to just kind of quiz you guys on the theory as we go through. So let us know in the chat if you can tell me what kind of interval this B to D is. I'm really hoping with these live lessons, I'm getting better at doing them. I'm not perfect yet, but I really want to try and include, like, hey, what's going on theoretically here, right? So if this B to D happens, then we may as well know that it is a blank blank, right? So I want you guys to let me know in the chat what kind of interval that is. So we got B, D, G, and then G, F, E, D, C. And then we have a descending G major scale starting on C here. We have 5th of the G for the C, 4th of the G. You're very close, Yash, you're very close. A major third would be B to D sharp. So we have C, B, 4th of the G, and then A, G, F sharp, 4th of the D there, right? E, D, C, B. And we're just going to go all the way down to G, right? All the way down to G, and then we get B, open D this time. So after this G, we get 3rd fret of the low E, 2nd of the A, then open G, and then we're going to grab 5th of the D string. So let me explain real quick why I'm using open strings here and there. It's easier to do open string and then that because than it is to do this, right? And the reason I'm picking to do open and that is because we're trying to keep these notes from ringing over each other too much. So sometimes it's just easier to use an open string and then go up that interval of a fourth there because it's going to, by definition, stop the note before because you can't play two notes on the same string. So we have G, B, D, jump, bum, bum. And then after we go to this F, right, we go to E again, and then we get our D, C, and then we get D, E, right? So from the beginning of that line, we have B, E, G, G, F, E, D, C, C, B, A, G, F sharp, da, 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 and then da, 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 bum, 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 bum. Now, sorry if I'm trying to call the notes out while I'm playing. Sometimes I don't take all the syllables into account and I lost the rhythm. So let me do that again with just the actual rhythm without me saying the names of the notes. So we have 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, right? And then 1, 2, 3, 4 and. So let's take a look at the next line. Then we get F, third of the D, G, fifth of the D, and then index for A, second of the G, and then back down to this. And then we get our F sharp, so we're borrowing from G major again, guys. So we get F, G, A, G, F sharp, and then E, D, da, da, da. Now, of course, remember, guys, whenever you see a sharp, it applies to all of the notes till the bar ends, right? So this is also an F sharp. We go up to G after that. G, A, B, A. And then we're going to have to slide to first position. And you'll see the first position marking right here, right? So we're going to get that G sharp with our index. And then we're going to go down to F sharp with our pinky. Now, what scale is this? Bonus points for anybody that can type down in the chat what scale he's borrowing from here. Once I see someone answer, I'll let you know if you get the answer right or wrong. But here's a hint, guys. Here's a big hint. It's some form of melodic minor. And if you're not sure what melodic minor scales there are, check out, of course, my music theory video. So we have this G sharp, F sharp, E, and then F sharp, G sharp. Right? Remember, we're not past the end of the measure yet. And then we get, now in the video I slid up, but I think it's a little easier maybe to go to this open string. So we have A, open B, C, B, and then we get A, G, F, E, open D, and then grab this G, and then bum, bum, bum. Now in the video, the fingering that I prefer personally, and it's not because it's easier, it's just because I think it sounds better. The one I just showed you is easier. I like to take this G sharp and move it up to this A so that I can get the B here and then the C here. And then I go A, G, F, E, D, G, C. And then that's our third of the A, fifth of the G, and third of the A. So that's how you play this one, guys. This is such a cool piece for learning scales with your thumb. Now, of course, this is something that you want to take slowly. This is actually kind of a deceptively tough piece. I've heard people try to play this one that have played some really great pieces for me. And then they go to play this one and it doesn't sound quite right. So here are the things that you really need to keep in mind, guys. And just a heads up, it's A melodic minor. I didn't see any answers down there, but A melodic minor. So one thing that I think is really important with this is you need to think about, how does this sound like a melody? How does this sound conversational? Right? There are a lot of cool things that he's used, and I've kind of pointed out some theoretical things that he's used here. He's used a lot of sequences, so if you're looking for those sequences, so for example, a sequence would be ba, 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 ba. So your first big sequence that he runs into is right here, actually. So we have this, and then that same figure, if you look over here, is right there. But it's just starting on a different note. And he actually uses the sequence with borrowing, which is really cool. So always try to ask yourself, like, what is the scale degree? What is the interval? What's going on with this piece? Now, of course, if you need any help, I am actually starting to sign up private Skype students. So you can check out the link below to get your first session for free. Sign up for the first session. It's free. There are no obligations. However, I did get somebody that signed up for a session. I put a little questionnaire in there. And I do ask you, how motivated are you? One, and are you at all interested in joining the dojo? Now, if you say no, you're not interested in joining the dojo, I'm still going to give you a free session. But I had somebody fill one out yesterday that said they're not motivated and they're not interested in joining the dojo. So I turned around and canceled their appointment. Don't waste my time. Just only sign up if you're willing to make this a symbiotic relationship. I love my students very, very much, but I also want my students to love me back, if you understand. So check out that link if that's at all interesting to you. Otherwise, this has been a really fun session, and I hope you guys find this piece very, very helpful. If you have any questions, you can send an email directly to me at ross@musicandguitarlessons.com. I've also got some great free goodies that you can claim down in the link below, such as a free practice journal template, free blank staff paper. On my website, you can find a free 150-page, 15-page PDF. There's a lot of free stuff for you guys. Of course, you can find that here at this awesome website that was created by yours truly. So, hey guys, happy practice. Remember, get the practice in if you can. Practice makes the closest thing you can get to perfect. See you guys.